This is about the fastest I've ever seen it come up.
The Kentucky River has crested and it's left a path of destruction. We'll take a look at all the damage.
Rounds of showers and booming thunderstorms set to blast the Bluegrass State for the week ahead. We'll track the potential coming up.
If you need a sure sign that UK's shot at the championship is over, just look at these crews dismantling the party on South Limestone.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. They are still cleaning up from last week's heavy rain.
In Scott County, for example, they're seeing some of the worst flooding since 1997. The Elkhorn Creek rose, flooding some nearby homes and businesses. Victor Puente was at a restaurant forced to close its doors because of the damage. It's our top story at 6.
The North Elkhorn Creek runs behind homes and businesses here in Georgetown. Over the weekend, it burst its banks, sending water into the places where people live and work. This Arby's got the worst of it. Water made it up to the bottoms of chairs in the restaurant. Employees spent the day taking ruined food, paper, and plasticware to the dumpster. Across the street, the Elkhorn Plaza saw water cut off entrances to several businesses, but it never made it inside. The people who live next to the creek say that water started rising Friday night and didn't stop.
It was up to the power poles when I got home, and just within every hour it was raising a foot or so.
At least 6 homes on Elkhorn Meadows Drive had to have their water heaters replaced because of the flooding.
These ones all had their water heaters in the basement and they didn't get taken out, and a lot of them floated and tipped over and broke the pipes and were leaking.
HVAC systems were also damaged, leaving some families with a chilly evening. They tell me they knew the creek was close but didn't think it was much of a concern.
We never dreamed it was going to get that high. I never figured it'd make it over the hump behind the power poles there.
The owners of the Elkhorn Plaza tell me that after the flood in 1997, they raised all the buildings they owned by a couple of feet. They say it paid off over the weekend. In Scott County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And the managers of that Arby's say they hope to be able to reopen before the end of this week. As for the weather, after a nice weekend allowing us to dry out some, we are tracking more wet weather.
And it looks like the cooler air is moving out for now. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look now at a warm and rainy forecast.
Yeah, we'll take the warm part. We don't need the rainy part, obviously. Unfortunately, that may end up taking center stage yet again this week as showers and thunderstorms come at us in waves. Seeing a couple of those waves that are out there right now, one across southern Kentucky on Live First Alert Defender, the other impacting far northern parts of the state. So as of now, the areas that were hardest hit by the flooding on Thursday and Friday have the driest conditions. So that's at least some good news. Here's Live First Alert Defender into southern Kentucky, raining from Adair County, the Columbia area, over into Monticello, where it's coming down at a pretty good clip. Some of this area may actually pick up some local 1-inch amounts as we go through the rest of the evening into the overnight, especially as I see a few more rounds of some showers and thunderstorms impacting these same areas. So if you're watching us right now into Wayne County, southern parts of Pulaski, southern Laurel, through the Whitley City area, McCreary County, over toward Williamsburg into Whitley County, keep an eye out later this evening. You get repeat showers and thunderstorms. Some heavy rainfall may cause some quick rises on creeks and streams. Lexington Metro A-OK, northern Kentucky, scattering of showers and thunderstorms, everything in motion. And another little wave trying to develop between Owensboro and the Paducah area, and that's why we're talking about these waves or rounds of showers and thunderstorms that are on the way. I'll come back in a little bit and track them for you with the updated hour-by-hour forecast, guys. That'll have the latest data in 10 minutes.
UK's loss Saturday to Wisconsin left bartenders and shop owners just as upset as all those students.
That's because national championship number 9 would have given them a great deal of business tonight. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy talks about the big bonus of title number 9.
Business owners are just as bummed as fans that UK isn't playing tonight. You can tell if they were, South Limestone would be far more packed than it is now.
If we would have won, we would have made that much more money on Saturday and that much more money today. It would be a madhouse. by now we would probably be full.
Mackenzie Ball was expecting to work just as long of a day Monday as she did Saturday. She and the rest of the crew at Tin Roof put in more than 12 hours behind the bar, caring for customers and cheering for the Cats.
Walk in and it still says game day on our chalkboard. It just like heartbreak.
A block away, Wildcat Warehouse team members were preparing to print more than 70,000 tournament tees.
Just like everybody else, you know, it's a little quiet today. We love the boys no matter what, and we are ready for another season.
Now they say they'll focus on promoting their Final Four and record season t-shirts. A win by the Wildcats would have just added to an already great business year for the store.
When we advance to the NCAA tournaments, they're really just icing on the cake for our business. We really plan just for every single day.
Because UK isn't playing in the championship game, Lexington police say they will not be out here blocking off the street for fans. On South Limestone, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
ESPN estimated the loss of a national title for the University of Kentucky this year at about $1.5 million in royalty fees. For retailers, they estimate a loss up to $15 million in gear. UK's Final Four loss did not stop Big Blue fans from Lexington streets on Saturday night. A few dozen fans ended up in jail or arrested or in the hospital, but police say fans this year were less rowdy than in years past. Firefighters on State and Elizabeth streets reported small fires, none of which say damaged any homes or cars. Police tell us they arrested 31 people for charges like alcohol intoxication and disorderly conduct.
And what we were seeing for the most part was people who were really highly intoxicated to the point that they were proving to be a danger to themselves or others.
Firefighters say they transported less than a half dozen individuals to UK hospital. Police say that most of those injuries were for cuts to the face or hands and feet.
We are learning more about a Boyle County woman accused of killing her 3-year-old step-granddaughter. A new report from the Advocate Messenger shows that Shyla Rayleigh had been reported to Child Protective Services 18 times. Most of the allegations against Rayleigh include child neglect, physical and sexual child abuse, domestic violence, and drug abuse. Rayleigh's step-granddaughter, Alex, died from internal bleeding that was caused by blunt force blows to her stomach while in Rayleigh's care. Rayleigh pled not guilty to murder back in January. A former Franklin County deputy has been sentenced for theft. 32-year-old Matthew Brown was convicted for using evidence collected from an investigation to pay for personal expenses. Brown was sentenced to 16 months in federal prison and 2 months of home incarceration. He was also ordered to pay back nearly $18,000 in restitution. Brown must serve 85% of his prison sentence. A grand jury will hear the case of a Breathitt County man accused of shooting another man in the face. Jackson police arrested Tom Allen last month. They say he shot Cisco Noble along Sewell Street during an argument. Police say Allen told them he was assaulted and then shot Noble. Allen could be indicted for assault.
Police are on the lookout for distracted driving. April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, which means more officers watching for people not paying attention on the road. Sam Smith talked with officers in Madison County on their efforts to end distracted driving. He has that story new at 6.
The issue of distracted driving has captured the attention of law enforcement officials across the state. Madison County is no different.
You could have someone stopped in front of you and you're trying to text, and next thing you know, you've rear-ended somebody.
That's why keeping your eyes on the road is so important, and the sheriff's office is cracking down on violators thanks to a federal grant.
Basically what that does for us is that's able to put extra officers, extra deputies out on the road to do nothing but check for driving infractions.
According to state police figures, there have been more than 300 crashes in the county this year for varying degrees of distracted driving. Officials want to remind drivers that cell phone use, along with pets on the driver's lap, reading, reaching for items, are all distractions officials are on the lookout for.
It is a weapon. I mean, it's a 1,200-pound vehicle going down the road, and only you have control of it.
Another reminder for drivers under the age of 18, no cell phone use is allowed. In Madison County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Of the more than 300 distracted driving crashes this year in Madison County, 13 have resulted in injuries, but no deaths.
A new Lexington council member has been sworn in. Mayor Jim Gray named real estate agent James Brown 1st District Councilman this morning. Brown serves on the Fayette County Schools Redistricting Committee and is on the site-based council for Bryan Station High School. The Lexington native says he plans to run for the seat in the fall election.
I believe my experience in grassroots advocacy and my ability to build relationships will serve as an asset in becoming an effective council member.
Brown replaces Chris Ford, who stepped down last month to become the city's new Commissioner of Social Services.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Franklin County remains under a state of emergency tonight as many people are still dealing with high water issues.
Check out this video of the Kentucky River that Officer Don took from Sky First. You can see the river. It is well out of its banks and close to several homes. Several roads remained underwater, some buckled from the flooding. Big Eddy Road is blocked off between the Big Eddy community and Old Lawrenceburg Road, causing an inconvenience for people who live in that area.
We had to go all the way around, and it was, like I said, about a 20-minute drive to get back to town, whereas it's a 5-minute drive to town directly this direction.
The river crested over the weekend at a little over 36 feet.
It's springtime, and that means construction time in Kentucky, and that could cause some traffic issues for drivers.
Yeah, the state transportation cabinet says the spring storms have slowed them down a bit, but they are still on schedule. Crews continue to tackle 2 projects in Lexington's West End. This week from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., they'll be blasting on the southbound outer loop of New Circle Road between Versailles Road and Old Frankfort Pike. And then tonight from 10 to 5 in the morning, crews will be pouring the bridge deck for the Old Frankfort Pike Bridge, causing some closures.
Look at alternate routes around the city. If there's other routes that you can take to get around that, and just plan for that and be patient.
Crews tell us they are on track to reopen 3 lanes of the outer loop on New Circle Road, have it open before the Breeders' Cup in October. The Leestown Road project is scheduled to be finished in December.
It's a huge inconvenience. Court proceedings in Magoffin County have been canceled since the beginning of the month. Right now, the Justice Center is closed indefinitely following an air quality report. Officials at the center tell us they're looking at alternative sites. They're running tests today to see what exactly the problem is, and they hope to have some answers tonight or tomorrow. The Justice Center also houses the Circuit Clerk's office.
Now.